Chapter 1. The Shadows of Assur. In a back alley, on the edge of the artisan's quarter, lived a young man named Zabani-Assur, son of a widowed potter and a priestess who died too soon in a plague epidemic. His name, which meant, the one who escapes by the will of Assur, seemed prophetic. From an early age he had learned to sneak among the shadows and survive unseen, a shadow among others in the city of the god. His home was a one-room hut, with mud walls and a roof of dried reeds. The floor was beaten, and in the corner a small sesame oil wick always burned, the only source of light in the long evenings. His father, Nur-Elum, spent his days shaping vessels for temples and markets, while Zabani had learned to borrow from those who were too allot. Their table often included a stew of lentils or millet, served in a single clay pot for all to eat on good days. When they sold a well-painted pot, they also allowed themselves dried tiger fish, dates, or a steaming flatbread from the neighborhood's communal oven.One warm evening. As the moon rose palely over the ziggurat's towers, Zabani planned a new theft. He had heard rumors of a shipment of jewelry that was to be temporarily stored in the house of a palace official, Ennatum-bel, a corrupt scribe who took bribes on behalf of the king. The theft was carried out quickly. Zabani crept onto the roof of the house, silently cut a mat, and entered the room where the filigree gold necklaces and bracelets lay. But as he was leaving, a patrol spotted him. He was forced to flee through the empty stalls of the market, slipping through the courtyards and passages until, unexpectedly, he came close to the inner garden of the royal palace, where no commoner was allowed to tread. Hidden in the myrtle bushes, his heart pounding, he caught sight of Princess Mullissu for the first time, a teenage girl with ebony eyes, the daughter of King Iddin-Sîn and Queen Tashmetu, a woman renowned for her beauty and cruelty. The princess held a small harp in her hands, and around her stood a few silent maids. Zabani looked at her for a moment, and in that look a crazy thought was born, not just to steal from the powerful, but to penetrate their world, into the very heart of power. But heavy footsteps were approaching. Guards patrolled close. With bated breath, Zabani slipped back into the darkness, but not before a gold bracelet fell from her cloak, remaining hanging from a wild rose branch, right under the eyes of a maid. That bracelet would trigger, without him knowing, a discreet hunt. The palace had been touched by the shadow of a thief, and Zabani's world would change forever. Zabani was running. The darkness of the palace garden was no longer an ally, but a labyrinth. The guards' footsteps were approaching, their heavy stilts hitting the compacted earth like drums of destiny. The guards knew, whoever enters the royal space without permission deserves a whip or death. The thief fell silent. He pressed himself against a warm wall, smelling the scent of jasmine and expensive oils that floated in the air. Then, as if